Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. The most challenging task is to make a speech after starters and before dinner. So I'll try and be as brief as possible. But let me begin by thanking you for this lovely evening. And thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for taking the time to be here. You've always been very generous. Whenever you felt it was a cause. And I'm not saying this to flatter you. I'm saying this because over the years, one has seen you demonstrate that. Whether it was fundraising for Shah Khan or Namal University, and recently the Dam Fund. The Pakistani community of Manchester rose to the occasion, and you were counted. You were recognized by the people of Pakistan. So thank you for doing that. Let me also thank you for supporting PTI, for trusting Imran Khan to lead the nation. Most political pundits are of the view that it's not cut for politics. It's not made for politics. He doesn't have the temperament for politics. He's a sportsman. He hasn't been groomed for politics. But what the people of Pakistan were looking for is not a traditional status quo politician. They were looking for someone who could feel for the people and who could be a catalyst of change, who could break the mold. And ladies and gentlemen, certainly he has broken the mold. In a political system where two parties were entrenched for years, for decades, to challenge them, to confront them, and not just for power, to confront them with a new ideology, and to give people hope. Imran Khan, I think, has done a great job. I remember I've been in politics much longer than he has, and he has publicly acknowledged that I have more political experience than he does. When he invited me to join the party, I had options. I wasn't looking for a parliamentary seat, I had one. I wasn't looking for a place in the cabinet because I had been minister in the past. Why did I join Imran Khan? Why did I join PTI? I had options. Ladies and gentlemen, I joined Imran Khan because I felt he had his heart in the right place. I joined him because I thought and I think it would make the difference. And inshallah he will. There are cynics, and we've been in office for the last almost 6 months now, close to 6 months. And many critics are already saying, what? Where is the change? We don't see any. What has he done? What have you done? Ladies and gentlemen, when you plant a seed, you must have patience for allowing it to germinate. And germinate it will. We are confident. We are planting the seed of change. And inshallah it will germinate. It will germinate because that is what Pakistan requires. You and many of your elders who traveled abroad for a new life have mashallah done very well. And we're proud of you. Today, to a large extent, you're supporting Pakistan through your remittances. Your remittances are more than the annual exports Pakistan is generating. And it's very, very important for Pakistan. And that is why we in the PTI were strong advocates to give you a right to vote. Why did we want you to have a right to vote? Simply for the reason that you remain connected with Pakistan. And through your vote, you have the ability, and inshallah, you will. You have, and you will. You already have made an impact. Without you, there would have been no PTI. Imran was there, but there would have been no PTI without you. Imran was banking on your support. When he reached out to you to raise funds for Shaukat Khanum, and most experts then said, forget it. It's not going to work. You cannot have a cancer hospital that will give free treatment close to 70%. It's not possible. It's not economically viable. Experts from the West said that. But he said, no, I will do it. And he did it. When he came to England as a young sportsman at the age of 18, many experts said, forget it. You cannot be a fast bowler. You do not have the action of a fast bowler. He said, I will become one. And he did become one. When he decided to build this university in one of the remote areas, in a rural area, in a remote backward district, Miyawali, most experts said, forget it won't work. How will you have faculty? How will you have educated people go and live in Miyawali? You want to build a university? Build it in Lahore, somewhere close to a big urban center. He said, no, I will build a residential private university in a remote area. And it has come about. When it came into politics, people said, don't waste your time. You don't have the temperament. You don't have the people. You don't have candidates who are willing to accept your ticket. How can you become Prime Minister? Come on, be realistic. He said, I will. And he has done it. And when we say that we will build a new Pakistan, many of our critics say, forget it. It won't happen. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this in Manchester, we will build a new Pakistan. What will be this new Pakistan? Are we going to add new area to it? No. Pakistan will be, inshallah, a country governed by a new mindset. We will try and introduce a new political culture in this country. We will try and inculcate democratic values in Pakistan. We will try and invest in people of Pakistan, the biggest asset of this country. Obviously, every economy needs infrastructure, and physical infrastructure is extremely important for development. But our focus is not going to be motorways and metros. Our focus is going to be the people of Pakistan, health and education and drinking water. We will build a nation, and a nation is always built by educating people. We will try and attract a new class into politics. I am one of those who is from that traditional political class. But let me be honest with you. The traditional political class of this country has let the country down over and over again. They have not been able to outgrow their old feudal mindset. They are prisoners of the past. And the best thing, I think, I would say Imran's parents did and my parents did. They sent us to universities in England. And we learned, and we met, and we got exposure here. We met friends here. We were able to pick up values, democratic values. And we were able to rub shoulders with roommates, people in our college who come from different lands. And we could see hope in their eyes. We could see promise. And then when we look back, we saw decadence, a decaying society, dysfunctional institutions, corrupt politicians, a failing bureaucracy, red tape, indifference, and we felt when Imran invited me to join the party, I had choices. But I came to the conclusion that if I want to break the mold, and if I want to be part of a change, then let me join a party that is being led by a person who believes and wants to make a difference. When I did that, many of my friends, political friends, said, "My God, that is political suicide you've committed. What have you done? PTI? For heaven's sake, there's no future for PTI. That's the worst political decision you've made in your life." But I was confident that inshallah, collectively, we will make the difference. Jikubai sitting here is one of those old guard members, one of the founding members of this party. And there are many, many members in PTI who are much more senior than I am. And they have spent more years in the party chose me, and I'm grateful for that, to be his vice chairman. And in the first election that the party held, when we decided to institutionalize PTI as a party, the only two office bearers who got elected unopposed were the chairman and the vice chairman. And believe me, Imran is the founding chairman. Obviously everybody wanted. But believe you me, my election wasn't fixed. It wasn't fixed. It happened that people were kind. So ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Here we are in front of you, trying to make the difference. It's not going to be easy. We are not living in a fool's paradise. We understand the challenges. We know how entrenched the mafias are. We know they have deep pockets. And they have status quo, to be challenged. But we are going to challenge it. And I keep telling the Prime Minister and my chairman, we have to do things differently. But that is what people expect. Pakistan is abroad, and as somebody was saying here, that the overwhelming majority of Pakistanis abroad are sympathetic towards PTI. Why? उनको कोई थाने से किसी को छुड़वाना नहीं है, उन्हें कोई गैस का मीटर नहीं लगवाना, उन्हें बिजली दरकार नहीं है, उन्हें कोई अपने बच्चे की मुलाजमत की ख्वाहिश नहीं है. They're doing okay. They build a future for themselves abroad through their own struggle, sheer hard work. The children educated. And can you imagine in a society like this, Yasmin Bibi, people like you, elected as members of parliament, about 15 of you, that speaks so well of you and your colleagues, and not just you, the system that allowed you to rise to that level. Let's give this society. Let's do it. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. There are people that were talentless, and they recognize talent and merit. So that is what we need to learn from you. And there's a lot that we have in the East that you can learn from. We are proud of our heritage, and we are proud of our Eastern background. Alhamdulillah, we have no complexes. We will not pursue policies to please people. We will follow and formulate policies that will strengthen Pakistan, that will build a Naya Pakistan. The economy that we've inherited is challenging. And believe you me, our finance minister, Mr. Asad Umar, when he was given this task, he knew what he was getting into. He was getting into a situation where the country's fiscal deficit was unsustainable, according to financial experts. He was going to get hold of the reins of an economy that had a historic trade deficit. The country has never been this indebted before. If you look at 72 years of our history, The first 6 decades add up, the debt, and the last 10 years. And who have been governing Pakistan in the last 10 years? Kabhi teri bari, kabhi meri bari. And from 6 trillion, the debt multiplied to 28 trillion. Unemployment on the rise. Forex reserves at the lowest. People having lost confidence, and the foreign direct investment dipping, nosediving. That is the economy that we got. There was an easy way out, and we've done it 16 times. We could have done it the 17th time and run to the IMF. Get a bailout package on conditions and terms which could have been very harsh to the ordinary Pakistani. We chose otherwise. Most experts are of the view that we will not be able to do it. But let me thank friends of Pakistan who were generous and bailed us out. And inshallah today, we are going to talk to IMF, but on better terms. We would engage with them, but we engage with them on terms which are friendlier terms. We came into a situation where on the eastern side, our neighbor was continuously planning to isolate Pakistan, pushed into a corner. And we had a government that chose, in their own wisdom, I fail to understand the reasoning, not to have a foreign minister for 4.5 years. What was the logic behind that? I fail to understand. Continuous and constant violations across the line of control, acknowledging that we have outstanding issues with Pakistan, but refusing to engage and sit and have a dialogue. We want peace. We never want concentration. We want to build Pakistan. And how can we build Pakistan if we are fighting left, right, and center? We have a people-centric agenda. And that people-centric agenda demands peace. But no. They were trying, and they have been trying, to use soils across to fan insurgency in Pakistan. We came into a situation where just a year ago, months before we took over office, a new policy was announced in which Pakistan was termed and projected as not the solution, but the problem. Everything that went wrong with Afghanistan, we were responsible. Hostile environment. I went to meet congressmen when I was in US, and I that if there is a bipartisan consensus in the Congress today, it is Republicans and Democrats disagree vociferously on so many issues, but they have one issue where they have a commonality, and that is Pakistan. They are both not very comfortable with Pakistan. That's the situation we got. Saudi Arabia, a traditional strategic ally of Pakistan, doesn't want to meet you anymore. They were miffed after the Yemen crisis when Pakistan chose to remain neutral. UAE, and the father of the present Crown Prince, who visited us recently, who laid the foundations of a very warm bilateral relationship with Pakistan, was not even willing to visit Pakistan. And my ambassador in Abu Dhabi tells me, when he went to present his credentials, he looked at him and said, they've sent you to commit suicide. That was the approach. The GCC looking the other way. West pointing fingers at you. India not willing to engage. Afghan soil being used against you. Safe havens being created, not here, there. Challenges, foreign policy challenges. Demoralized civil service for different reasons. Lack of protection. Better opportunities in the private sector. That respect that they enjoyed in the past, lacking today. Why should they join the service? It used to be employment of first choice, no longer there. People want to go to the corporate sector. Why? And where will we get governors of Pakistan from? And how can you govern a country without a good civil service? Politicians can formulate policies. Who will implement them? So, the service is in decay, requiring a reform. Institutions in decay, requiring reform. The country demoralized. Not just flight of capital taking place, a brain drain. A brain drain. Anyone who's talented, educated, wants opportunities abroad. Politicians, and I'm one of them, making dishonest bucks and parking their money abroad through money laundering. Swiss accounts, properties in Dubai, and flats. I forget the name of the place. No. Panama, I never heard of it. But that's the class. That's the class that has been governing and ruling Pakistan. And the people of Pakistan have to decide, what do they want? And the PTI and my chairman and my prime minister has to decide, what does he want? It's a battle. It's a tug of war going on. And I say that with responsibility. There's a tug of war going Ladies and gentlemen, please pray. You've supported Imran. Pray that he wins in this struggle. Because there are obstacles, there'll be barriers. You switch on the television, and every talk show, every evening, there's a doomsday scenario. That's the challenge. But ladies and gentlemen, could anyone believe when our forefathers, after the 1935 treatment given to the Muslims of India by the then elected Congress government, could think that in a few years there will be a resolution in Lahore in 14, and in 7 years there will be a new nation born called Pakistan. Could anyone imagine that Jinnah could do that? Many experts were of the view that it's a lunatic's dream. But he had the vision and the commitment. And he got it.
Pakistan!
Inshallah. अब हमने नारों से आगे बढ़ना है. नारे बहुत लगाना है. धरने भी बहुत नीचे. उर्दू में अब देखिए आगे बढ़ना है और एक अज़म से आगे बढ़ना है. और कौमें वो आगे बढ़ती हैं जिनमें खुददारी होती है. भूख नहीं मारती, बेहयाई मार देती है. जो कौमों में फैसला कर ले कौम जिंदा रहने का, जब उसमें अज़्म पैदा हो जाए तो उसकी सफों में से गुमनाम लोग निकलते हैं. गुमनाम लोग निकलते हैं तो वो नाम पैदा करते हैं. आखिर सियालकोट की गलियों ने इकबाल को भी तो पैदा किया. कहां से निकला इकबाल? आज ईरान चले जाए, तुर्की चले जाए, सेंट्रल एशिया चले जाए, जर्मनी चले जाए, बर्तानिया आ जाए, कैम्ब्रिज चले जाए, इकबाल को सब पहचानते हैं. सियालकोट का था ना इकबाल, क्यों पहचानते? तो कौमें जब फैसला कर लेती हैं तो अपनी सफों में से लोग निकालती हैं. और यकीन जानिए 200 तकरीबन 10 मिलियन की आपकी कौम है. क्या 210 मिलियन की कौम में हमें 4-5 हजार गवर्नर्स नहीं मिल सकते जो पार्लियामेंट में आके कौम की नुमाइंदगी कर सके, जो सिविल सर्विस में आके कौम की बागडोर संभाल सके, जो फौज में शामिल होकर मुल्क के जोग्राफी का दिफा कर सके, जो यूनिवर्सिटीज में जाकर नई कौम को पैदा कर सके? यकीनन मिल सकते हैं. और ये लाल पाकिस्तान के मुख्तलिफ शहरों में, देहातों में बिखरे हुए हैं. सिर्फ नजर चाहिए ढूंढने की, और वो नजर इमरान खान देगा. हम तलाश करेंगे. हम उन बिखरे हुए मोतियों को तलाश करने का इरादा रखते हैं जो बनाएगा नया पाकिस्तान. दुआ कीजिए परवरदिगार हमें वो हौसला दे, वो अज़्म दे, और हमारे अंदर वो जिलाह पैदा कर दे जो इस मायूस कौम की मायूसी को खत्म करे اور یہ اس تاریکی میں ایک امید کا نیا دیا جلایا جائے، اور وہ جلے گا انشاءاللہ، مجھے یقین ہے وہ جلے گا۔ میں ابھی سے ہوا کا رخ دھیرے دھیرے تبدیل ہوتے دیکھ رہا ہوں، وقت لگے گا۔ کوئی الادین کا چراغ نہیں ہے، کوئی جادو کی چھڑی نہیں ہے، لیکن کہتے ہیں نا قطرے قطرے سے دریا بنتا ہے۔ انشاءاللہ وہ قطرے جمع ہوں گے، ہو رہے ہیں۔ آپ لوگوں نے، بیرون ملک رہنے والے پاکستانیوں نے امید دلوائی اور پی ٹی آئی بنائی۔ جب لوگ ہنسا کرتے تھے پاکستان میں تو آپ نے آس دی، جو دفتر چلانے کے لیے پیسے نہیں ہوتے تھے تو آپ نے چندے دیے۔ انشاءاللہ آپ نے ملک کو انویسٹمنٹس بھی دینی ہے، اور ہم نے پاکستان کو آپ کے لیے کھولنا بھی ہے، اور کھولیں گے انشاءاللہ۔ نئے لبرلائز ویزا رجیم کے ساتھ پاکستان آپ کے لیے کھولیں گے، ٹورزم کے مواقع پیدا کر کے پاکستان آپ کے لیے کھولیں گے، انویسٹمنٹ کی اپرچونٹیز پیدا کر کے آپ کے لیے پاکستان کھولیں گے، انشاءاللہ کھولیں گے۔ یہ ملک آپ کا ہے، یہ ملک آپ کے بڑوں کا ہے، جو آپ یہاں جن کا یہاں عزم ہے رہنے کا، ان کی بھی محبت کے رشتے آج بھی جڑے ہیں، آج بھی وہ جڑے ہیں، اور خدا کرے وہ قائم رہیں۔ ہم اس امید کو ٹوٹنے نہیں دیں گے، اور اس کے لیے ہمیں لڑنا ہوگا، اور عمران کو لڑنا ہوگا بہت سی طاقتوں سے، بیرونی طاقتوں سے بھی، اور کچھ عناصر ایسے بھی آ سکتے ہیں جو ہماری صفوں میں گھس بیٹھ کے آ جائیں، اور وہ ایک نیا اور ایک پرانا وہ تکیہ نوسی کلچر ری امپوز کرنے کی کوشش کریں، اس کے خلاف بھی گارڈ کرنا ہوگا، اور انشاءاللہ مجھے یقین ہے کریں گے، کریں گے۔ میں خواتین و حضرات اس جملے سے اپنی بات ختم کرتا ہوں، یہ میرا خدا گواہ ہے، میں نے عمران خان کا ساتھ اقتدار کے زینے پہ چڑھنے کے لیے نہیں دیا۔ مجھے نہ قومی اسمبلی کی سیٹ درکار تھی اور نہ وزارت کی خواہش تھی۔ مجھے اگر خواہش ہے تو عمران کے ساتھ کندھا ملا کر نیا پاکستان بنانے کی خواہش ہے۔ اور مجھے علم ہے، میں جانتا ہوں کہ مشکلات کیا ہیں، کیونکہ میں نے اس دشت میں 35 سال گزارے۔ میں نے بلدیات سے لے کر صوبہ اور صوبے سے لے کے مرکز تک کوئی ایسا الیکشن نہیں ہے، یونین کاؤنسل سے لے کر وزارت عظمیٰ کا الیکشن میں لڑ چکا ہوں، and I know every stage. I have been at every tier of government, local, provincial and federal. And I will keep telling my chairman what I think is right. کئی دفعہ ہوتا ہے اقتدار میں لوگ آتے ہیں تو مزاج شاہانہ دیکھا جاتا ہے اور مزاج کے مطابق گفتگو کی جاتی ہے۔ اگر مزاج کے مطابق گفتگو ہونی ہے تو وہ پرانا پاکستان ہے، نئے پاکستان کے تقاضے اور ہیں، اور نئے پاکستان کے تقاضے ہیں قیادت کو بتایا جائے کہ 2 4 ہے، 5 نہیں ہے۔ مینچسٹر کے لوگوں، آپ کا، آپ کی محبت کا، آپ کی عزت بخشی اس کا بہت مشکور ہے، اور آپ کے دوستوں کا جن کو آپ گاہے بگاہے بلاتے ہیں وہ آ جاتے ہیں، آپ اسے خواہش کرتے ہیں، مطالبہ کرتے ہیں کہ وہ اپنی چیک بکس بھی نکالتے ہیں، چندے بھی دیتے ہیں۔ الحمدللہ آج چندہ مانگنے نہیں آیا، आपको ये इत्मीनान होना चाहिए। हाँ, आज मांगने आया हूं तो एक मोहब्बत का रिश्ता मांगने आया हूं जो आपने पहले ही इमरान खान को दिया हुआ है, उसको मजीद मुस्तहकम करने के लिए आया हूं। और खुदा के फजल करम से मैं शुक्रगुजार हूं कि आपने कुरैशी साहबा तशरीफ फरमा है और आपके उन पार्लियामेंटेरियंस का जिन्होंने हाउस ऑफ कॉमन्स में हमारी इंटरनेशनल कश्मीर कॉन्फ्रेंस मुनक़िद की, जिसने मुझे मौका फराहम किया कि मैं आज यहाँ आया। उस बहाने आया, आपने बुलाया, आपकी दावत पर आया, आपकी रिपोर्ट पर आया। न रिपोर्ट बनती, न 30 अक्टूबर को रिपोर्ट शाया होती तो न ये मौका पैदा होता। तो मैं आपका शुक्रगुजार हूं। और मैं शाह साहब, आप तशरीफ फरमा है, मैं आपके जरिए कल बर्मिंघम में जो मैंने अपनी आंखों से माहौल देखा और मैंने तहरीक इंसाफ के कारकुनान को, ये तो बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है, ये तो पढ़ा लिखा और वहां भी बहुत पढ़े लिखे लोग थे, लेकिन जो माहौल, जो जज्बा, जो तड़प, जो उमंग, जो जुनून मैंने कल बर्मिंघम में देखा, मैं उन बर्मिंघम की तहरीक इंसाफ के कायदीन, नुमाइंदगान और इदारान का अपने दिल की अता करें फिर शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूँ। और इंशाअल्लाह आगे बढ़ेंगे और इंशाअल्लाह एक बेहतर पाकिस्तान बनाने की कोशिश करेंगे। आपका बहुत शुक्रिया, आप सबका बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने तवज्जो से मेरी बात सुनी। और आखिरी एक बात करूंगा, मैंने बोला है और आपसे अब जवाब चाहता हूं। नारा मैं लगाऊंगा, जवाब आप देंगे। पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद। और कौन बचाएगा पाकिस्तान? नहीं, दो दफा ना, एक दफा तो भूल जाता ना, भटक जाता है। कौन बचाएगा पाकिस्तान? थैंक यू।